Good evening. Or midnight, or whatever. I usually schedule my videos to upload at midnight anyways, unless I have something important to get out. But, it is raining outside, and rainy day means we get one of my talkie videos. One of the videos where I just cover whatever the heck I want to cover. And today we're covering hair types and whatnot. Also, I got GCDS Yasmin. I did not film a video of her. I'm so sorry, but she had a really botched face when I first got her, and I mean really botched. Like it was off to the side, so I just kind of erased it and repainted it from scratch. And she's really cute now, and I'm happy with it because she doesn't look like she's a flounder anymore. Anyway, that aside, you want to be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, do all that YouTube jazz, the stuff that they tell us we need in order to survive as content creators on this platform. I do this as a hobby. But yeah. Doll hair types. Ah! Sorry, Yasmin. This is not a very structured video. I've tried filming it like 20,000 times today, and I just got really displeased with each iteration, so we're not structuring it the way we tried those past several times, and instead we're just gonna roll with the punches. So if you like that type of energy, be sure to stick around. The hair type we're gonna cover is Saran. It's a very thin, very dense hair fiber. It comes in a lot of colors, not as many as other hair types. In fact, it has the smallest color palette of any hair fiber out there, but it is one of the higher quality hair fibers, so it makes up for it in terms of quality. Now, it doesn't take as much saran to fill out a doll's head as it does other hair types because it's very dense, so it doesn't take a whole lot to get it to lay the way it's supposed to. In fact, a lot of people will think that because saran dolls have less hair compared to a lot of nylon dolls in, like, again, comparison, they'll think that saran dolls are bald, which is not true because, like, this is not bald. This is standard rooting. I mean, yeah, you can see her scalp because it's not painted the corresponding colors in certain areas, and she has spacing out because she's not physically growing the hair out of her head. But that's decent rooting for a doll with saran. In fact, that's really good rooting for a doll with saran. Really great rooting, even. A lot of people think that saran only comes in natural colors, which it does have a lot of natural colors, and the natural colors are gorgeous and whatnot. And it's mostly known for natural colors, but it does have fun colors too. And we love it. It's very soft, very silky. It boil washes incredibly well. In fact, out of all the hair fibers in this video, it is the best one for boil washing, boil perming. Only downside to it that I can really think of, you can't use heating tools on it. So no crimping irons, no curling irons, no flat irons. You're just going to melt your doll's hair if you use any of those on a doll with saran hair. Which I've seen some people do on TikTok, and they always end up melting their doll's hair off in the video, and they go, oh no, I've ruined her. And then I just feel bad for them, because it's like someone should have told them beforehand. Because, general public doesn't know a lot about doll hair. That's a very niche thing to, like, research. And I mean incredibly niche. Like, even in the doll community, there are not quite as many people who understand the differences between hair fiber types. Some of them do, some of them don't. But most people at large don't know that you can't use heating tools on saran. And so they end up melting their doll's hair off, and it ends up being really sad. Anyway, yeah, it's my personal favorite hair type. It's the favorite child for a lot of people when it comes to hair types, and it's gorgeous and it's silky. And look at it. Look at this. Look at this majesty. Gorgeous. This is flocking. Not a lot of people consider this a doll hair type, but I consider it a hair type because it gets used to represent hair. You're going to see it on a lot of shaved styles. It's applied using adhesive, like an adhesive decal that goes on top of the doll's head. And some colors, like the natural colors, tend to be softer than others, with some exceptions. I don't really know how many different color types there are for flocking powder. I see it mostly in natural colors, although I do know fantasy colors do exist for flocking. I've seen it in purple, lilac, pink, and neon green before, and I think I've also seen it in blue. But by and large, you're going to see it in natural colors when it's used most of the time. fun thing about flocking is that it can have designs printed on it, and you'll see this with like some of the LOL OMG dolls that have it, or even some Monster High dolls like Ghouls Rule Claudine, where the doll will have like a design printed on top of the saran. Not saran, flocking. Oh my goodness. They can have designs printed on their hair, which is really cool. And also, they can be laser cut decal appliqued in different patterns and designs too, which is amazing. It's really cool. One of my favorites. And it's used mostly on boy dolls or dolls with shaved hair, but it's cool. It's one of my favorite hair fibers. Anyway, it doesn't get enough love. It doesn't get enough love in my opinion. Everyone rise for our dearly departed hair fiber, Kanekalon. Kanekalon is one of my least favorite hair types. Shocking, I know, but let me explain. One, once it gets tangled and matted, it's really hard to detangle and have it look nice again. Like, once it gets really matted and gross, it's just gonna be damaged if you do manage to detangle it. Two, there's a rumor that it's a carcinogen because human-grade Kanekalon has recently been discovered to be cancer-causing and to release carcinogenic fumes when exposed to heat. Like, the human-grade braiding hair that is made out of Kanekalon has recently been discovered to be potentially cancer-causing. And so a lot of people have logically deduced that potentially exposing doll grade to Kanekalon might release the same fumes. Now, nobody knows for sure if this is something that can happen with doll grade Kanekalon, but regardless, because it's Kanekalon, it's best to err on the side of caution. Best to err on the side of caution. But like, it's soft, but it's thin, it's wispy. It gets messy so easily, and I'm afraid to boil wash it. Like, it's a hair fiber that people are afraid to boil wash. I mean, some people I see on TikTok, very brave souls, they're like, I don't care if it's potentially cancer-causing, I'm gonna do it anyways. And it looks nice when they do, but for me, it's not worth the potential risk. It's a dearly departed hair fiber for a reason. You don't see it on current day fashion doll releases, and maybe that's for the best. It also has a similar color palette range to Saran, so in the event that this does end up being confirmed to be carcinogenic, you can just get some similar colors in Saran and replace it. And it'll feel better too. Like, Kanekalon just feels dry compared to Saran. Saran feels silky, like it's been moisturized. Kanekalon, while soft, just feels dry. Next up, low temperature nylon. This is used mostly on mermaid dolls. It can be confused for metallic nylon because it is just as shiny as metallic nylon. And some people confuse it for polypropylene because it gets tangled as easily as polypropylene. Low temperature nylon is nylon hair that has like a certain texture that you can see on it. Like, you can see this sort of weird powdery texture on it. And I don't know what it is with low temperature nylon. You can't really style it with heat. It's one of those things, okay, backtracking. You can technically style it with heat, but it's that type of nylon where if you want beach waves, you're gonna like have to braid your doll's hair, and you're gonna have to dip it in hot water and then in cold water to get it to set. Like, low temp nylon, I don't know how they deal with it in the factory, but it is really cool because, like, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but Aura's hair blend is not multiple, like, colors of different hair. It's like 2 or 3 colors with a watercolor effect on it. Like, you can get watercolor dye jobs with low temperature nylon, which is really cool and really gorgeous and really stunning. And one of the reasons why I love mermaids is because they use it on some of their more recent dolls. But it's one of the lower quality nylons, which makes me a little sad. Step above low temperature nylon, say hello to Yasmin, she's back, is just regular doll grade nylon. It's soft. It has a similar texture to low temperature nylon in terms of like, it definitely looks synthetic, even on the natural colors. But it's nice. It's a really nice hair fiber, and I like it. It's not quite as good as premium nylon, but it'll do. And it's really fun to do like hair flips with. Like, this is majestic. This is gorgeous. We love this. It's one of my favorites. I prefer natural colors when it comes to regular doll grade nylon, though. I will say the fantasy colors tend to get tangled more easily with regular doll nylon from what I've noticed. The Disney store dolls have this hair type, so you might recognize it on like the Shop Disney dolls. They tend to have it. But yeah, that's regular doll grade nylon. And above that is the soft and silkiness that is kiwi nylon. Kiwi is also known as premium nylon, but premium nylon is also technically a shared title. It's just really soft. It's really silky. It comes in a lot of colors. It's really bouncy. It's great for curls. It's great for waves. It's great for whatever this ponytail twirl hairstyle is. It's great. It's so versatile, and it comes in so many colors. It's so fun. I love this hair type. Like, look at this. Look at this. This is majestic. We love her. Rainbow High uses it most often. So does LOL OMG. I believe Fierce has it. It's great. It's one of my favorite hair fibers. Downside to it, when it has really bad box hair, like when a doll with nylon has box hair, it's box hair, like really bad box hair. It takes a lot of work to fix box hair on a doll with kiwi nylon, but it can be done. And it's a really good, really soft hair type. Great for stimming too, in my experience. Like, when I get overwhelmed and whatnot, I comb through it. It's really nice. It's so soft. It's so fun. Great for sensory. Like, except for when it has a lot of hair product in it. When it has a lot of hair gel in it, then it's distressing. But other than that, great. Also known as premium nylon is metallic nylon. Metallic nylon is just as soft, a little bit silkier than kiwi. It's shinier, but this shininess causes it to get confused for polypropylene a lot. People will often accuse a doll with metallic nylon of having polypropylene. It happens so often, and it's really sad when it does, because it's like, no, you're wrong, but if you try to tell them that they're wrong, they get really mad at you. But it's metallic nylon. It's really soft. When you do eventually fix it up, and it is possible to do, it's wonderful, and it's silky, and I love it. It's so soft. It's also really cold. Like, it's a really cold hair fiber once it's like brushed through and conditioned and stuff. It's just a little weird to like finger comb through it, because it's like, I don't know, it's just it's never room temperature. It's a very light hair fiber, and so I guess that causes like a lot of air to pass through it or something, because like when I finger comb other doll hair fibers, it feels room temperature, but this one feels cold when you pass your fingers through it. It's weird. Shadow High uses it a lot on their dolls, like especially the Series 2 girls. Most of the Series 2 girls have it. Actually, I think all of the Series 2 girls have metallic nylon. It's great for fantasy colors. It doesn't hold up to boil washing quite as well. In fact, the ends will shrivel up a lot easier than kiwi nylon, but it exists, and it's a thing. It's a thing that exists, and I'm kind of all over the place. Yeah, it's great. It gets really tangled. When it gets really tangled, it takes a lot of work. It can be done, but it is stressful. Now comes the part of the video that I dread talking about. The lowest grade of nylon is polypropylene. which is kind of ironic because apparently polypropylene is a really expensive hair fiber depending on the season in terms of production. Like, if you see poly hair on a lot of dolls during a season, it's because the hair is less expensive. But if you see poly hair on less dolls in a season, it's because it's more expensive, which is weird. The price on this thing fluctuates so much. Polypropylene is great for holding curls if you do it properly and if you let it set with enough time. I didn't, so her curls are not quite as nice as they could have been, but like it's improved over time. The type of polypropylene has improved because people have confused it for low temperature nylon. People have even confused it for saran if it's straight polypropylene. But the downside to polypropylene is that it's still polypropylene. So over time, it'll dry out. And it'll feel, eventually, like a wispy broom. You will get a broom-textured doll hair from poly. It's not durable. It doesn't hold up to time. And that's what's really sad about it. Like, dolls with poly, if you can tame it, you can tame it, and it will look good. Like, I've seen people work with polypropylene. It's very beginner friendly, and if you can tame it, it looks gorgeous. But it will never last, and that's what's sad about it. You know, you look at toys like dolls. These dolls are not something that you outgrow and dispose of. A lot of people keep their dolls for a long time, and if you donate them, they need to still have hair that will survive being donated. If you give them regift, it needs to be a longevity thing. Dolls are one of the few toys that has, in terms of like existence, a longevity in terms of how long they stay in homes. Like, having a hair fiber that will eventually degrade over time so fast, and not even like a slow degrade. Like, saran will take decades to get dry and brittle. Nylon will take forever to get dry and brittle. But poly, it'll be dry and brittle in not even a decade. There will be a day 2-3 years from now, especially because I live in a desert and the air is drier here, where I will have to reroot both of these dolls because their hair will have dried out and it will become brittle. Like, it's just not a long-living hair fiber. And when it gets tangled, oh boy, you need a pet brush to detangle it. And it's horrible dealing with it. It's just, and it comes in pretty colors. Like, it's one of those hair fibers where you look at the colors it comes in and you want to love it. You see when people do really well with restyling it and making it look pretty. You want to love it, but you can't love it. You can't love polypropylene because it's so temporary. I love this color on this particular Claudine. Maybe not on some of her other dolls. Some of her other dolls maybe should have had different hair colors. But on this particular Claudine, I love this strawberry blonde color. I love, like, it's not even strawberry blonde. It's like pink champagne purple. I love the neon purple streaks. I love the brown underdye. But it's such a temporary fiber. It'll die so quickly. Like, I need to find a color match so I can stock up on it because I know that I'm going to have to reroot her in due time. And that upsets me. It does, because rerooting is a very expensive process, and these dolls don't have glue in their heads, and so when I do have to reroot them, then they're going to have glue in their heads, and it's just not fun. It's not fun for anyone. And, like, I get why people use it. I get why companies use it. But it's still a sucky hair fiber. It's just so sad. Anyway, those are all the different doll hair fibers that I care to cut. Oh my god, Yasmin. I'm leaving that in. Those are all the different hair colors that I care to cover today. It's been a long day. I have tried recording this video several times, and things keep going wrong. Whatever ends up in this video ends up in this video. Anyway, that is all the time that I have. I will see you all in another video later down the line. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good evening. Love ya!